Well, new GM John Spytek, it sounds like he's got options, whether it's the draft or free agency. And now Maxx Crosby has chimed in on recruiting a certain quarterback. Take a listen.
The first year off an Achilles is one of the hardest things to do. You've seen it happen with Kirk. Kirk had a down year. It happened with Aaron. I mean, he struggled, like you said, early on, but he got better as the season went. I think with all the doubt and all the negativity around Aaron Rodgers, he needs to retire, things like that. You know, he's getting caught by the Jets. I think he's going to come back. I think he's going to have a big year this year, and I hope it's in our town.
Yeah, what do you think there, J-Mac?
Well, interesting. Last time Maxx Crosby was pounding the table for someone, it was Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Yeah.
Remember, he was like in the owner's ear. I want Antonio Pierce here. Him and Devontae Adams, like, I think they took the owner out to dinner and they were like, we need to keep Pierce.
Yeah, that's why.
So now he's going in, hey, we need Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Okay. You know Pete Carroll better than anyone. What do you think he wants? You think he wants Aaron Rodgers?
I think Pete would like a veteran presence in the room. I mean, I think if, you know, I don't think Pete wants to give away all that draft capital for a quarterback. He's not going to get Cam Ward. They're not selling, you know,
Right.
they're not selling off that many pieces. So I think Aaron's very attractive. But I think the other thing is Pete's going to control the organization. I mean, Norm Chow got a little big for his britches, and Norm Chow left USC. And Pete Carroll made sure Russell Wilson, it's kind of my team, my culture. See you later. Like, Pete's going to run the show. This is going to be Pete's culture.
Well, based on that.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where I love Raiders fans, honestly. Let me just say that off the top. Because they have such intensity and passion that not all fan bases automatically have, and they got opinions. And so, you know, a lot of Raiders videos that I do, I always like to ask, because there's always some sort of like question mark around this team, the coach, the quarterback, whatever it is. So off the top, just straight up, I want to ask, you know, Raiders fans, like, do you want Aaron Rodgers? You know, because I can see this going in many different ways, quite frankly. You know, I think ultimately the best move is a Sam Darnold, because I think that's the best quarterback that you'll be able to get. And unless there's a quarterback that you think you'll be able to draft, then that's kind of a different situation. But I think if you think you're going to be kind of stuck in this where you're not really going to be able to get a good quarterback in the draft, then I think Sam Darnold will be the best situation, because I think he is a good to great quarterback. I think he will have a ton of success with the Raiders, and you're going to get him on a cheaper deal. You're not going to have to pay him like $55 million, whatever it is. And he's young. He's in his prime. And so you're going to get like a 5, 6, 7, year window of him playing at a high level. And it's just like, that's not the easiest thing to be able to just casually get. So I'm a huge supporter of them making a move for Sam Darnold. I think the Raiders, right, they need a new culture. They need a new identity. They're trying to build something different than what they've had. They're obviously in a newer area relatively to what they've been, to their whole, their whole existence. You have Tom Brady, Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly. Like, this is supposed to be a new era, and you want to do it right. You want to build something special. You want to build something that people truly want to be part of, right? That is the intention. Las Vegas is a happening place. It's a very unique place. I don't know how many Raiders fans who are watching this have been to Vegas or live in Vegas currently, or if the fan base is still kind of spread out. But Vegas is that the whole area as a whole is a very fascinating area. And if they can start to win, it's going to be box office, man. It's just going to be the place to be. It really is. And it's more than just casinos and partying, honestly. There's a lot out there, so much extra land that's like kind of mind-blowing when you honestly realize how much open space there is, and just a lot of cool, interesting stuff to do. And the question is like, now that you have Pete, now that you have Chip and Tom Brady, it's like, is Aaron the quarterback who you want? My biggest problem is on the field, I do think Aaron Rodgers will be better, because I do think it takes time to heal from the Achilles, like Maxx Crosby was saying. And I think if Pete Carroll can get this defense on track, and this can be a very defensive forward team, and I want in the future for this team to be offensive forward, but it's just, it's dependent on the quarterback and the weapon situation. But that's why you hired, Pete Carroll right now. If it could be a defensive forward team, and you're asking someone like Aaron Rodgers, you're going to protect him and ask him just to play like very fundamental textbook complementary football, kind of like early in like Tom Brady's career, for instance, like, yeah, then I think Aaron Rodgers will be great at that. My concern with Aaron is just his personality and what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to build, right? Like you're trying to really build the culture of the Jets, of the Raiders, and make it about the franchise, not about the quarterback. And if you're a Raiders fan, you just don't want it week to week to week to be the Aaron show. You just don't. And now that you have Pete Carroll, you have a coach that truly can instill and create a unified winning culture, proven to do so in at multiple levels of football and for multiple teams. You have that. And unfortunately, Aaron is more of a proven, like, I ruin culture type of a player. And again, I think Aaron Rodgers is great. And I do think Aaron Rodgers will be a good to great quarterback this coming season. I just don't know what his personality is this season. That continues to be my biggest question mark about Aaron, which is why Aaron gives me the most biggest pause. If I could choose between Sam Darnold and Aaron, I'm picking Sam Darnold in a heartbeat. Because now Sam Darnold, I mean, look at the team, what the Minnesota Vikings did and how much they absolutely loved Sam Darnold. Loved him, sharing him in a water bath and like all that type of stuff, like loved him. They support him. They came, to really want to elevate him. They want to see him win. I do not think Aaron commands that anymore. And the problem is that anytime there's any issues, Aaron is so quick to undercut everyone else. And that's not what you're looking to do for this team. You're building something new. You have Tom Brady. This is the Tom Brady, the Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly era. That's what this is right now. So you have this one chance to really move forward and build something special and in the long term. And again, that's where you have to figure out what is the plan. Because if you get Aaron Rodgers, maybe you win. Maybe you become a playoff team. What's the exit strategy with Aaron? You're not going to have him as your quarterback for the next 5 years. So what is the plan? And if not, if you're like, you know what? We want a Sam Darnold because we think we can win, but we don't have to pay him as much as say another top quarterback, and we'll be able to build around him for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Like that's a long-term plan. Or maybe you're like, you know what? Listen, we're building something different here now. We really do truly have to hit the reset button. We don't want any of these quarterbacks right now, and we're gonna draft one and kind of have to really start fresh. Like that's where you have to figure out what is the actual plan. What is the assessment of this team? What are the realistic expectations? It's so important to me to look at what are the realistic expectations of if we have Aaron on our team, what can we do? Don't just say, oh, we can win the Super Bowl. We can be a top team. No, what are the realistic expectations? And that's going to be through the eyes of Pete Carroll, of a Chip Kelly, of even a Tom Brady. What are the realistic expectations? What are the realistic expectations with Sam Darnold? If we draft a quarterback, if you get, like, and I know you're not going to do this now, but like Gardner Minshew, who I think that they've already released him, like, but if someone like a Minshew was available and you could get someone of that level quarterback, it's what are the realistic expectations and for today, and what does that mean? What does each option mean to us moving into the future in terms of like if we got Aaron, what does it look like today and what does it look like tomorrow? Sam, today and tomorrow. And you got to figure out what path you're looking to be on and how quickly you're trying to win and what are you trying to win? Are you trying to just be relevant? Are you trying to just to kind of, not embarrass yourself? Are you looking to compete? Are you looking to build something special? What is the actual plan? What is the actual intention? And that now to me is what dictates whether or not you go for an Aaron Rodgers or not. I hope the Raiders do this right. I'm not going to act like I 100% know what the right decision is. And like I said about Aaron, when he was kind of talking about potentially going to the Rams or the Steelers, it's like the only way I'm taking Aaron is, really based off of the meeting that I have with him. It's a real conversation that I have with him and saying like, what are you looking to do? And what type of voice are you looking to have? And are you really going to be a legitimate team player? Because really, at the same time, this is also like you're trying to look to see, like, have Chip Kelly, build his vision of the offense. Who does Chip Kelly want for this offense? What is the culture that Pete Carroll is looking to build, and is Aaron conducive to that? If Aaron, if you actually have a great game, but we lose, and our O-line really made some mistakes, and heck, Chip Kelly actually just really called a bad game, and the wide receivers dropped a couple balls, what are you going to say in that moment? What are you going to say at Sunday? What are you going to say? Are you going to be able to just say, that it was just one of those games, or are you going to throw other people under the bus? Because that's not what we're looking to build here right now. We're looking to build something legitimate here. We're not trying to everyone just point fingers and try to avoid blame. Who are you going to be? That's what I want to hear. So we'll see. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Las Vegas Raiders and potentially having Aaron Rodgers, and the fact that Maxx Crosby is obviously pushing for him? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.